Hey folks, real quick before we start this video, one of the things that we need to think about as we're preparing for surgery is to carb load as you're going into surgery. So that week before, you begin to increase the amount of carbohydrates in your food from about 60% to about 75% right before you go into surgery. That treats your body like you're running a marathon and helps you to get through it, and also helps the surgical team manage your blood sugars as you're going through surgery. The other thing is to pull back on salt. What you're going to see in this video are a lot of fermented vegetables that are fermented in a salt brine solution. So, probably 4 or 5 days before surgery is when you need to just stop taking those and really cut down on your salt. As I understand it, salt is one of those things that has an impact on swelling after surgery. So you want to really cut down your salt intake as you build up to surgery. All that being said, getting your gut biome together and getting it right with all these probiotic foods is a good option. Something great to do before surgery. Just stay away from the fermented vegetables as you roll up into it, but that doesn't, you could still do your yogurts and also sour beers if you are into that. Those have good lactobacillus bacteria in them as well. So all of those right up before surgery. Of course, no alcohol 24 hours before surgery, all of that. But then have these fermented vegetables after surgery, because you'll have been hit with a bunch of antibiotics and need to recover your gut biome anyway. So with no further ado, here's the video on fermented foods. Hey folks, I'm less than 2 weeks out from heart surgery to have my mitral valve repaired or replaced. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some other things you can do to prepare for surgery and that will help in your recovery, and that is creating your own probiotics or finding probiotics for you to help your gut biome. What's your gut biome? In your lower intestine, there's an entire zoo. I mean, I remember when our kids were in school, they would have these biome projects, the savanna and all these other environments. And so your gut has its own separate environment, as it has its own separate flora and fauna. And that's what's known as your gut biome. And in there are bacteria and beneficial bacteria that help break down nutrients that your small intestine couldn't break down, and take those nutrients and put them in a way that you can absorb. And a healthy gut biome just does a lot to enhance your capacity to pull the nutrition out of the food that you're getting. So, how do you get a healthy gut biome? And we all get this biome built around our environment, but you can be an agent in helping you have a strong and robust gut biome. My goal is to have a strong, vibrant gut biome going into surgery, so that when a lot of that gets wiped out during with all the antibiotics and everything, I've got some resilient critters in there, and then I've got some reserves at home that I can begin to put good quality bacteria and those wonderful little critters back into my system. And the thing about this is that it's not hard, okay? This is about as dead simple as it gets, as far as you being able to create your own, it's from fermented foods, from your own naturally fermented foods. Now, what do I mean by that? Our entire environment is surrounded by gazillions of bacteria and other critters, yeasts and stuff like that. So the goal with fermenting your own natural foods is to create an environment where that food is located that only the beneficial bacteria can colonize, do their thing, digest, and reproduce in that jar of stuff, so that you can consume it and get it into your lower intestine. Now, what are some great fermented foods? We've got beets. Okay, pickled. We've all heard about pickled beets. Some people really love them. Some people, Sauerkraut. Okay, sauerkraut's great. I love sauerkraut. Of course, I'm from Western Pennsylvania, and pork and sauerkraut is a staple of New Year's Day. But sauerkraut on your hot dogs, that kind of stuff, we eat it all the time. And naturally fermented pickles. Okay, naturally fermented pickles. Now, those are ones you can do on your own. I'm not adventurous enough to do my own yogurt. Okay, but yogurt has its selection of different microorganisms that help facilitate having a robust and strong gut biome. And the thing you can do, and I'm not paid by these folks. I don't get any money for this. This is just for your benefit. But what I do is I go around and read the ingredients, and if it lists that it has actual live cultures in it, then I'm in. And the other thing you can do with the yogurt is you can add some blueberries, and then you've got a powerful antioxidant, since oxidative stress is one of the biggest contributors to heart disease. So blueberries and yogurt, you can't go wrong there. So how do you ferment foods, and how do you go about this? Like I said, it is dead simple. This is a little bit fancy for fermenting, but I have a glass weight in here to keep the food down below the surface of the air, because oxygen is the enemy of good fermentation. So you want all of your food down below the surface, where it's an anaerobic, a lack of oxygen, anaerobic activity, because it's the anaerobic microorganisms that are the ones that are doing the great job of converting and turning your cucumbers, your cabbage, and your beets into pickled or fermented products. Okay, so I have a glass weight. I have this fancy stopper up here that helps keep any foreign microorganisms from getting into my ferment. I'm going to put a couple of links in the description below to channels that talk about fermenting pickles and beets and making sauerkraut. The thing that you need to be aware of is if you go to the store and it's in a jar and it's on a shelf, it's dead. Okay? There's no beneficial bacteria in there at all. All right? So be aware of that. If it's in the refrigerator section, maybe. I've seen some refrigerated krauts, but you really have to pay attention. So you're better off making it yourself, and it's dead simple. It's basically your brine is a tablespoon of salt, of not iodized, regular salt. So I would use a kosher salt, not a table salt, not Morton's salt, regular salt, but kosher salt or a sea salt or a Himalayan pink salt or something like that. So non-iodized, no extra things but SALT, NaCl, whatever you want to call it, in there. So it's a tablespoon of salt per cup of liquid, and that's roughly all you need to do to be able to pickle your vegetables. So this was just real quick. I just wanted to talk to you real quick about probiotics. I'm planning on attacking these in this last week before surgery and having them on hand when I get done with surgery to repopulate my gut biome so that I can get back to full health as quick as possible. All right, thanks. Have a great day.